Haunted. How are you weirdos doing? Welcome in. Today we're going to continue on the hopeful prospect that we began yesterday. So welcome in. Um, paint, haunted paint. That's what I'm going to do. But first, I need my eyeballs. So let's put those on, and now we can continue. Hey, Doug, how are you doing? I got it right this time. I don't know why. For some reason, when I see Gus, I think Ben. It makes no sense. I know what Ben's handle is, but I call you Ben all the time. So I got it right that time. I'm excited. I am doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Yeah. It has been an all right day. Okay. So we're going to do some work on these little strap doohickeys. These actually, is that the same color? No, that's a lighter color. I thought it was the same color for a moment. Could we have made these things just a tiny bit smaller? I don't know. I think they probably could have. Hey, you just finished that mini? Nice, Fear. How much of the wheel did we catch? I unfortunately didn't catch but a little tiny bit of it. I watched the VOD while I was fitzing about doing some other projects just to get the view in there, but I didn't actually get to see it directly. Is that going to become a regular thing for all of the streamers, or just like a special event kind of thing? That's just good. Okay, cool. Well, that's kind of what I was hoping. Support the guys and girls when I can. Okay, so we're just kind of cutting in these little lines. These are going to make me go blind probably by the end of the day, but we're going to try and catch them all. This is almost as bad as painting mummies. But at least it's only one versus like hundreds. Looking at making it semi-regular with Weird Streamers Volunteer. Okay. Well, I would definitely not mind doing it for special events, as long as it's a miniature that I don't care about or that I plan on repainting. Like I wouldn't want to do it on special edition or commission models or anything like that. Yeah, I actually have some modifiers. I don't use the wheel, but like on my stream, I have a channel currency that at 50,000 points, I do a switch and I paint with my right hand for 15 minutes. And a couple viewers have sprung that on me more than once. Fun, silly thing. Yeah, definitely. As it should be, for sure. Yeah, good for a special occasion, for sure. True. Okay, there's one sock with the first highlight in. Or I don't know if it's a sock, if it's, just wrappings. He's got ace wrap there. I don't know. But there's one of those with the first highlight. How about that? One of those things, one of those doohickeys. So here we go. I'm looking forward to that new Nightmare box. I wasn't actually expecting it to be announced so soon. I figured we'd be a little closer to Gen Con, or even potentially doing Gen Con streams before that sort of thing would be announced. But I guess you have to do it prior to build up the hype for the sale itself. So that makes sense. But I guess I was expecting it to be a little bit closer to. But I'm excited about that. It will be my 5th Nekima model, I think, because I've got the first edition metal, the one where she's up on Tippy Cloven Hoof with the big, like 12-foot long sword and those really big outstretched wings. I've got that one. I've got the 2E model. I've got the 2E alternate. And then I've got the 3E model. And now I'm going to definitely have to buy the Nightmare set. So that will be 5 Nekimas. Nekimas or Nekimas. Can we get a confirmation on it? A, Nekima. B, Nekima. Which is it? Oh, yeah, I guess I have to think about it in that. It's only 2 weeks. Yeah. That's not a lot of time. Nekima. Okay. All right. I will try and remember that. N E K E. Well, I'm running out of paint. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it, write it so I can remember it. This is best way phonetically. Nekima. 2 E's after a K. Nekima. I have always wondered that because, like I said, I've got so many of her models, and I'm like, if I've got so many, maybe I should learn how to say her name. Nakam. I don't think that's how it's done, man. I don't think that's what they were thinking of. Yeah, I'm excited for that one. I'm gonna definitely pull up some like underwater, deep sea reference photos and get some really pretty colorations to work with. And I'm thinking seriously about when I paint it, painting it with oils. Oils are something I'm just been getting into recently, and thinking about trying it out on that because that would be one that's going to require lots and lots of blending with very unusual colors. So I figure like oils might be the best way to accomplish that. Smack him. That's when she's hungry. She is rather serpentine. Yep, that is true. Okay, so now we're going to pull a little bit of that Japanese uniform. I told you guys I use Japanese uniform and English uniform so much in my painting. Like they're gold, they're blonde, they're khaki. I use it for so much stuff. So if you haven't already got those 2 paints, go get them. Take them. All right. Nice segue there. Now this is a little bit of Japanese uniform mixed with some ivory. We're just come in here and like catch his shin bone, because you know that's kind of that sharp point on the front of your knees or your front of your legs, and it would be popping through a little bit. And then we'll put a little bit kind of like on the top of the calf where it would stretch, and then maybe a little bit down like where his Achilles starts to pop through. Like that. I would show you guys my first oil painted model, but it's from one of those other companies, and I don't want to do that sort of thing on the. But yeah, wolves are something I've tried getting into, and they're definitely interesting, especially for me, a brush slicker. Oils are something you got to be very careful with because of the amount of them that are, if not good for you, just downright poisonous or, you know, carcinogens, especially the cadmiums. They're really bad for you. So when I did my first oil painting, I actually wore, you know, because we're in the age of the pandemic, everybody has masks everywhere. I wore a mask over my face while I was home alone, but wearing the mask prevented me from sticking my brush in my. Yeah, killed a lot of many old school artists. That's correct. Killed a lot of watchmakers as well back in the day because they used it was cadmium or it was something else, but it was the thing that made the minute marks in the hands glow. It was actually a radioactive isotope that they were painting on those marks, and they would lick their brush to get. Yeah, the radium girls, right? They would lick their brush to get a fine point, and many of them ended up with throat, mouth, tongue cancers, and dying, if not all of them. Yeah, so you got to be careful with the oils. And the other thing, you cannot airbrush them unless you are really taking a lot of precautions. I probably would not airbrush them ever, but if I did, I would go outside and do them. So that's how bad they are for you. Okay, we're going to start with some dark gray on his gun, his blunderbuss. Um, and we're just going to slap it on because we don't really care where it goes at this point. As long as it doesn't go in the blue, we're okay, right? I may get a little bit of black in here just to kind of convey depth. But for right now, we're just going to do dark gray. Let's see here. think the wooden stock starts in this area, but we got some metal bits here, so I'm gonna wrap those in the dark gray as well. Actually, we may do those in gold. I take that back. Let's do that in gold. They had a great exhibit at the Houston Museum of Natural History called Death by Natural Causes, and it was about various ways people can die. They had a whole section of toxic art supplies throughout history. Oh, wow. Yeah. Paint on it. Paint. Who's actually writing that? I can't see it. It's so small. I'm painting. I'm painting. Your painting monkey is working. uh, I mentioned that I definitely lick my brushes when I paint, and my wife glared at me through that entire section. Yeah. I mean, supposedly, what we paint with, by and large, is safe. Supposedly. Um, and like I said, most of the time, what I do is I rinse the brush first. You'll see now, you hear my brush is getting rinsed, right? And once it's rinsed, I shake it, which is what I do off my kneecap, and I go like that. So it's usually pretty clean at that point, right? Um, but I mean, if it were like really toxic or something, that probably wouldn't matter a whole lot, especially not given how seldom I change my paint water. Which brings us to a whole nother point: why I drink out of sippy cups. I only drink out of cups that have a lid and a straw. These are my adult sippy cups because of the paint water incident of 2013. I I have never been really good about changing my paint water. I kind of feel like it gives me, I know it's a little strange, but I feel like it gives me a little bit better blends sometimes because you got all those colors kind of mixing together all the time. Um, it's like doing an old school wash for miniatures. If you use like the Tester's thinner, uh, you have all those colors mixed in there, specifically the metallics, and then you brush that into the recesses, and it would look really good for like an old battleship or the Millennium Falcon or whatever. Um, so, anyways, my paint water would get like that. It would just be like this sludge, like something out of the Okefenokee Swamp, which, if you're familiar with the Southeast, you know what that is. And I made the mistake of grabbing that cup up and taking a huge gulp and was immediately and violently ill. Since that date, I have drank from sippy cups to prevent that from happening. Yeah, they told the reading girls that it was say, oh wow, so they lied on top of it. I could understand if they almost if they told them there could be some dangers, but they were willing to do it anyways because of the money, they needed it, whatever. But yeah, if they lied to them, that's just despicable. But yeah, it does kind of make you wonder about the safety of our materials. I agree. Curse behave. Tell us your most used colors. Which one gets the most use in your painting? You have the same insulated metal cut. Nice. Um, well, I told you guys what my most used, or at least lately, what my most used are. So I guess it's up to the audience now. They need to tell you. But yeah, I do love my Japanese uniform and English uniform. I use a lot of neon green. Just as one of my favorite colors, and we share that in common. Weird. Um, my overlay is mostly neon green and purple. So those are two colors I like a lot, and I try and incorporate them where I can. Um, it was one of the reasons why I chose Necrons when I got into wargaming, because they had those neon green plastic rods in their guns, and I was like, I love these guys. So um, yeah, green's one of my favorites. Um, and for that, I use P3 Necrotite green, Iosin green, um, or GW Moot green, I think it is, with a little flash gets mixed in. Hey, Eleanor, how are you doing? Welcome in, welcome in. Lobby and Medium is some good stuff. Back when I first started, I used a lot of that. I mostly use water or my wet palette. That's it. I am doing good. Glad you are too. All right, let's get some browns going on the stock. Anytime you want to come out of there, Mr. Rhinoxide, that would be good. I think this is metal. This is like a metal cap on that wood stock, in which case we'll probably be doing some more gold there, or brass, whatever is close enough. I find to get more comfortable result with a medium over the water. Finish your second harpooner today. Nice. Yeah, I have right there. I got it too. Maybe the fact I use distilled water helps. I don't know, but I don't seem to have a problem needing a medium most of the time. Now, for doing certain blends, yeah, a glaze medium or slow dry medium do help, or retarder. Those help. But for most everything, distilled water seems to work just fine for me. And I save a fortune. That means more money for miniatures. The details are kind of sketch here. Like, I can't tell what's wood, what's supposed to be metal. I hope you guys can see that. I'm having to get a little close to it. Just try and discern the details there. So I hope you can see what I was doing. Me, two bases for the harpooners, and notice they're on 40s, not 30s. Oh, whoops-a-doodle. You know, the other day somebody posted a custom base that they had done for Anna Lovelace. It was really cute. I mean, it was a decent little base. It was solid. It had like some stone steps going up in a circle, which looked pretty good. And I looked at it and I was like, that's a nice little base. And then I realized he said something about he'd made a mistake because he realized that she needed to be, he made the base as 30 millimeters, then realized she needed to be 40. And I was like, my Anna Lovelace is on a 30 millimeter base. How did I not catch that sooner? So I've got to put her on a 40 millimeter base. I mean, you would just, okay, you think her feet are this big, you know, they're like microscopic, right? Why is she on a 40 millimeter base? I can understand kind of the old model, which is the one I have. I've got the 2E model that's got the metal hoop skirt, right? And it does spread out a good bit, but it doesn't go out past a 30 millimeter. And we've got models like Shang that hang all over 30 millimeter base, but he's still in a 30. She is a woman who needs her space. There you go. She's an introvert. You're in my personal bubble. Move out. Her dress is big. Yeah, it is kind of big. You put yours on a 32. Well, I'm glad to see I'm in good company, guys. That's fantastic. Yeah. I mean, I know it's there, but I don't know. I guess for one time, I assumed, and I know that's a bad thing to do, is assume. But I think in her case, that's what I did. I just assumed she would be on a smaller base because she was relatively tiny. You know, she wasn't a very big model. Dino Calypso, yeah. And like I said, Shane, he's all over that one. You can only get 3 of his 4 feet on there, which I guess isn't too bad. But you had to stretch to get that third one on. Alphonse Lacroix is inverse. Is he on a big base? That's why sometimes they have 40s, but could do with 30s. Yeah, big base, tiny model. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured when you said that. You know, I'm hoping Mecha Ma is huge. I want her like just like barely hanging on that 50 millimeter base, kind of like a Joragumo. You know how they got those little bitty contact points, those 8 little legs, kind of just barely touching. I want her to be like that. I want her to be like this big on a 50 millimeter base. The Calypso, yep, I've actually got one of those to paint right behind me. It's a cool model. It's unfortunately not mine, but I do have one of my own as well. You think it's the next one you're going to paint on stream? Cool. Gonna try some color shift. Ah, nice. I'm gonna try and do, well, non-metallics, of course, but I'm gonna try and do non-metallic copper, which is something I've never done before. So that's gonna be fun. So I want to do like a mix of copper and gold, and of course silver or steel or whatever, all in non-metallics on it, and just get a nice mix going on. Yeah, yeah. It's one of those things I've kind of gotten like in a, I don't want to say a rut because it's not really a rut. It's just I've gotten to where I like doing the non-metallic metal, or at least the suggestion of it, rather than the metallics on Malifaux. Just I feel like they look better um, than fake metallics, And plus, it's good practice. I'm painting a lot of Malifaux, which means I'm doing a lot of non-metallic metal. So I'm getting good practice in. You did some of the Dino Shackle and it came out nice. Very cool. I have to go back and look at it. I think I saw it, glimpsed it, but I don't think I saw like paid like good attention to it. I saw it on Instagram, which means I couldn't like really zoom in super good. I've got a potato phone, man. So okay, let's see here. I don't think I see anything missing there. Okay, good. Good. Um yeah. Just a little bit here. Then I'm gonna come around the base here, around the bottom hemisphere. Just a little bit of that lip there. Okay. The parts that didn't look as good, you hit with that is good. Creative concealment is a skill for painters. Always good to have that skill. Very good. Yep, I have done the same. And I've got to do that with my Torikage as well because one of them, uh, the tippy toe model, of course, the foot just kind of disintegrated the last time I tried to move it from a base, and so I'm going to have to basically mount her calf on the base because that's all that's left. It's just like the bottom edge of her calf, and then conceal it with some creative terrain pieces. Or I could go buy new Torikage. I mean, I guess I could do that, but okay. We'll get a little bit of this uniform back here on this butt here. So, if any of y'all working on anything at the moment while hanging out, painting along, modeling along? If so, what you working on? Doing a little sculpting. Nice. That is something I am ridiculously horrible at. I'm getting better, but or are you talking being Doug? You're talking about 3D sculpting, right? Just played some Psychonauts 2. Oh, I have been seeing that advertised. I don't think I played the first one. I remember the first one, but I didn't. Never played it. May have to give that a shot. I played some No Man's Sky last night because they just did a huge update on it now, where you can actually become overseer and like mayor of a planetary city, which is pretty awesome. Breathes a little fresh air into the game. Brushing some Z's. Some Z's of ZBrush. Cool. Getting demos looking awesome for Gen Con. Fantastic. That's definitely good. Painting up the brawler from the Outcast starter for Anya. Nice. And how you doing? Hecate? Heck at me? Heck at me. Sorry if I butchered your name. I'm not really good at names. Not a name scientist. It's great. Don't need to play the first one. They summarize. Oh, okay. That's actually good. Eleanor, I like when games do that, where you can pick it up if you've played the first one or not. Always a good thing to have that little catch up montage kind of thing if needed. Finishing up bases for Hopeful Prospects. Nice. And working on the Arcanist Medbot. Nice. Don't tell me that there is new things in No Man's Sky. That game will just suck me in. I'll be so sensitive. Yeah, it can happen. But there are new things. So there. Because I'm evil. I had to say it. Discovering my username is difficult for streamers. I bet. Now, I'll tell you, Doug, if you do go try it, make sure you're in a galaxy that you want to like settle in, because as far as I know, you only get the one through the quest. So what I would do is go to a lush galaxy first, right? And then answer the signal. It's going to send you to another system, a neighboring system from there, right? Oops, that's the wrong color. That is London gray. Crap. That's what I get for talking, right? It's going to send you to a neighboring system. Go to the neighboring system, look at that planet it's pointing you to, scan it. If it's not a paradise planet, you may want to move to the next one. You're a difficult person. No, you're just a difficult username. But anyways, once you find a system that has a planet in it with that signal on it that you like, then go on ahead down and complete the quest. But I did my first one, and I did it on I did get it in the nice galaxy. I was in Isentam, which is a lush galaxy. But God, what's the word? The words are failing me. I did it, and my planet was a extremely dangerous world. So, like, there's firestorms that rip the flesh right off your bones in mere seconds, like every 2 or 3 minutes. Thanks for that, like, Adam. Yep. This paint clogged up from the time I just used it till now. That's nuts. Sorry for the delay there, folks. I think that got it. Nope. Had to have one more big old clod come out. I am definitely going to have to pick me up a Vortex shaker, I think. I have been putting that off for a long time, and I think the time has come that I need to get one and just go through and do my paint every week because this clogging thing is becoming an epidemic. Like every single one of my paints, I could expect it from the ones that I've decanted, because they're in cheap, Chinese knockoff bottles. But these are like all my Vallejos and stuff are doing it as well. And I don't expect it from them. That coming across on the camera? Yeah, I think it's showing a little bit. We could potentially strike it up a bit more on the side here, I think. I think that shows it better. Finger eraser coming in. Watch out for the finger eraser. You have returned. Welcome back. You had to go fill your sippy cup. Yeah. Now, did you get on the sippy cups for a similar reason, Doug? Or do you just like, the control that they offer? Because like I said, that sucking paint water thing, especially my toxic sludge that I make, was what did it for me. Never drank your water from the water cup because you use those old GW paint cups. Oh, okay. You ever rinsed your brush in coffee accidentally? That's almost as bad. I mean, coffee wasn't so gross to begin with. It'd probably be really bad. I know, unpopular opinion. I'm not a coffee drinker. It's bitter to me. And I basically will have to drink it as sugar water to make it not bitter. And if you're doing that, I may as well have tea or soda. Why would you say something so controversial yet so pretty? Yeah, I knew it was going to be an unpopular opinion, but I don't like it. I don't. Dang, calling us coffee addicts. Sorry, guys. Sorry. uh, Coffee is bad until you drink it enough. Your mouth saliva changes. Same with beer. I could see that. I mean, because some things are an acquired taste, and you have to drink them enough till your sense of taste develops to them. I can see that. Yeah, that's possible. Quietly chugs Monsters. Nice. Yeah, I am just not a coffee drinker. I can stop drinking coffee whenever I want. I just don't want to. Yeah, that sounds like something a smoker might say. And I can say that because I am a former smoker. I quit. Let's see here. November, what was it? 2003? Yeah, November 2003 is when I quit. So we're coming up on 18 years I've been quit. And here's the funny thing. Here's the really funny thing. I quit over a video game. Now, I have to preface it with I've never liked the smell of stale cigarette smoke, like just absolutely worst smell in the universe, right? So I have never smoked in my house. I've always gone out on the porch or garage and smoked out there. So in June 2003, I started this video game called Star Wars Galaxies. And in that game, in the early days, the very early days, grouping was a thing. You would group up with 20 so people. You'd go to Dathomir, or one of the other adventure planets, usually Dathomir. And as a group, you would go hunt Rancor, Night Sister, Baz Niches, and that sort of thing. And you'd get the crap beat out of you. You'd go to camp and you'd heal up. And your entertainers and docs would be there to buff you up, heal your wounds, that kind of thing. And then you'd go right back out to it, right? Well, that was when I chose to go smoke. I would go smoke while we were in camp getting healed up. And more often than not, I would come back from my smoke break and find the camp gone. I'm surrounded by Rancor, immediately eaten, and find myself in the cleaning center, and I have to do my corpse run, because back in the day, you had to do a corpse run. You had to run back in your underwear to where your corpse lie to pick up all your equipment. And of course, you would probably die along the way, which meant you would be a little bit closer each time, which was kind of nice because, sometimes it was a 6-kilometer run, right? So you die about halfway there. So the next run was only 3 kilometers, and you die halfway there. So the next one was only 1.5 kilometers. So that's how you would do it. You just die a little bit sooner each time. Of course, every time you died, your equipment took damage. So you didn't want to do a whole lot. Anyways, point being, I got tired of that. And that was when I decided I am done smoking because of a video game. Wait, who here hasn't done a course run, right? But yeah, I literally stopped because of a video game. And Sony was very happy with it. Then I sent them the little success story about it. So, I quit smoking because of this game. And they actually at one point had it posted up on their on the main website page. A success story, a Star Wars success story. Player quit smoking because of the game. Whatever works, right? Yep, that's it. And it was funny because at the time, my mom, she just raised hell about me playing this video game so much. Didn't matter, I was working, paying my bills, but she didn't let me play the video game so much. And I was like, yeah, Mom, but that video game, it made me quit smoking. And she was like, oh, okay, I guess I have to like it now, huh? Really funny how that switched around. Famously small anti-smoking franchise. Yeah, right. But yeah, it's one of those things it always cracks me up. Yeah, I quit smoking because of a video game. You did what? Yeah. I quit because of Star Wars. But yeah, good for the health. Play video games, stop smoking. But like I said, that only works if you got something like that forces that collaboration. Where if you don't collaborate, or if you're not in the group, you die. And if you don't smoke in your house, so that there's conditionals there that not everybody's going to have. But in my particular case, it worked for me. No more dust sticks for me. Yeah, yep. You no longer want to sell dust sticks. I no longer want to sell dust sticks. But yeah. Anyways, let's get back to painting, shall we? I mean, I've been trying to paint, but I also kind of got lost in my stories today. So. So we're coming at it with some Japanese uniform right here. Paint these little upper parts here. And we may do a little bit of a recess shade with some of the some Rhinox hide. Bring out some of those details there. Come for the painting, come for the story. Stay for the stories. Yeah, that's it. Did I tell you guys one about the sushi? I don't think I told you guys that one. Okay, so doing this is a little mix of Rhinox hide and English uniform, kind of as a wash, just kind of catching the undersides a little bit. I'll throw a little bit in here too. Not that it needs it, but we'll throw some there. There we go. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. Like I said, I love the blunderbuss look. This makes it a lot more fun to paint, than just the standard. Like this guy's rifle is, it's kind of like a regular rifle, other than the ornate stock, but it's not got the character that this one's has. I love this one. Okay, so gonna come back in here with a little bit more of this Japanese uniform. This is, like I said, these two are like my favorite colors. Not my favorite colors. They can be used for, like I said, a lot of things. Like we got like khaki. We can do them for blonde hair. We can use them for gold non-metallic metal, or ace wraps. There's all sorts of things these little colors can be used for. So I've gotten to where I'm fairly fond of them. Okay. Now we will come in with a little bit of ivory and some of the words, some of that Japanese uniform. And we get way too much on our brush, so we wipe most of it off. Let me come up here and get some highlights on it. And we got that little connector down there, so don't forget that. It's like a screw head or something like that. So we'll catch it here as well. Like that. And we do the same for the other. I don't know if you saw that gun flex really hard there. That is one nice thing about this particular plastic is that it does flex a bit. So it can be a good thing when you inadvertently put too much pressure on a piece that you're not going to snap it off. I was shocked that the botanist were pre-assembled. Like I had no idea that like a regular box was going to be pre-assembled. I'm not sure why I never thought, but it's like clearly printed on the box, pre-assembled. But I was surprised by that. Present some interesting challenges when I go to paint it. Okay. Yeah, but the botanist is not a starter box. This is, but the botanists are basically the same material and they're pre-assembled just like these are, which I found unusual. But like I said, it does say, directly on the box, pre-assembled. Yeah, the botanist. No problem. No problem. Like I said, I didn't know till my friend showed me the box. He was like, look, these are pre-assembled. I was like, wait, they're what? And I looked right there on the box and it said, on all the, sites where they're advertised, it says right there, pre-assembled on the box. Yep. I was very surprised. So we're going to go in and do a little bit of stuff on the two guns, not a whole lot on the stock of the gun. Sorry. Start with some Doom Bull, or Doom Bull. That's the one. Just catch a few of the wood grains if we can. I actually probably could use to put the big boy glasses on. Oh, they're not in stock here. You want them? I see. They seem good with Macabre. McCabe. Macabre. Wow. That's a 0 for reading comprehension. With McCabe and for Layla. Mr. Macabre. Well, we have officially lost our brains. Mr. Macabre. I think that's the new title. Maybe. I can hope, right? I'd be somewhat vindicated if it was. That was just yeah. The Gremlin one is fantastic. I love it. The girl that's kind of bent over and the plant's like coming up behind her. I kind of like that one too. But the Gremlin is my favorite. Here we go. The crazy glasses. Gremlin botanist is best botanist. Mm-hmm. You call him YOLO. That's good. That's perfect. Yep. That's fantastic. You know what? Let's not do that. Let's grab, again, going to go with a little Japanese uniform. We'll mix it into our Doom Bull. Way we can keep the hue straight a little bit. Get some highlighting. Okay, we're going to be moving on to the shoes here in just a second. His little short hiking boots, I think. Because the gun's pretty well done. And then we're going to do the fleshes. The fleshies, fishies. The fishies, fishies. Yes. And then, yeah, we'll finish it up. So, same basic colors that we've been using. We'll be using the shoes here. So we got some Rhinox hide. We got a little bit of Doom Bull mixed in with it. Going to come down here. I'm going to say this one's going to be a little tough because the mold lines are pretty present on the feet. We're just going to do our best here and fix what we can. And yeah, this is, like I said, Rhinox hide mixed with a little bit of the Doom Bull, which we're doing as kind of like our first highlight. And we'll have to come in and do some shoelaces as well too. You just wanted it to be a horse. Are you talking about the McCabe title? You just wanted it to be a horse, or to be horse, the title's name. That makes sense. That was, I don't know if that's Facebook or if that's YouTube. I think that's YouTube. That's coming from McCabe horse. Yeah. Oh no. I'm sorry. That was here. How did I miss that? I see it on the left, but not on the right. That was weird. Okay. Anyways. It was funny. We were speculating about Reba, because that's the master that I'm currently learning to play, about her title, and I was talking about I wanted to see her like maybe ditch the horse, because that was one of my friend's biggest gripes was her movement value. She was just too mobile, he said. Um, which I didn't think that was that much worse than anybody else, but whatever. But I was like, maybe ditch the horse, and then like she can produce pyres easier, and or drop corpse handles easier. One of the two. And I was, it's kind of like imagining like a fire starter type thing where she's just walking around throwing pyre tokens everywhere. She might not be able to move as fast, but she can have a little bit longer range and be tossing those out a lot quicker, easier sort of thing. And that would make up for the lack of mobility. And the title came out, and yeah, she was missing the horse, but she and she does have the ability to like summon land pads through pyre, but she's not like the just walking, talking pyre token slinger that I was thinking of. Yeah, I'm anxious to try her out. Lucas McCabe, Horse Whisperer. Ooh, yeah. Horse Girl energy. Ran off with Reva's horse. That's it. Okay. Now that makes sense. That's pretty good. Catching these little seams on the shoes here. Easier said than done. A little tongue of the shoe, I think. And this is what I'm using is a little bit of that Doom Bull to catch these edges here. And I hope you guys can see that, because I can barely see it, and I'm using these big old chunky glasses, so not sure if you guys can or not. Finger eraser. Okay. These glasses are great. They look really, really stupid. They work very good. So I've got really poopy eyesight, and they help tremendously. They're a bit on the pricey side. They're like $30 for these things, and you don't know. They just number the lenses, and you're not really sure. They're not like plus magnification or whatever. They just number them. You kind of have to hope you get the right pair. For me, the 5.7 was good. So, is anybody interested, anxious to see Dune in October? I am super stoked for that. I have seen all the Dunes, including the sci-fi miniseries ones, which weren't horrible. Um, but I actually like the original, well, the extended original um, that came out from, was it 84? I think it was. Having the lens away from my eyes that far would give me a head. It's not that bad. And I think the reason why is because it's underneath your eyes. Like when I look up, my eyes are straight out and I don't see down here, right? And it helps in the fact that if you've got neck pain, you don't actually have to bend your head down as much. I can't do it because of the camera, but you can literally bring your model up. Okay, let me bring it up here like this. You can bring your model up here like this and paint like this just by lowering your eyes, right? So you don't have to bend your head down like this and paint. So they're pretty good in that respect. Um, give them a try. I mean, worst case scenario, buy them on Amazon, and that way you can take them, send them back. Yeah. Okay. At least somebody's interested in doing. I'm anxiously waiting for that one. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be good, but I'm hoping so. It needs a good adaptation, um, to get more people to it. It's kind of gone by the wayside. It's one of those things that really, they've done remakes of so many things. That's when they could have done a while back. Although maybe now's a good time for, suppose they split it. Now that's more like it. That's what the first one needed. It needed to be about 2 hours longer, and they just couldn't do it, right? So, yeah, that makes sense. Let me check something real quick. We're getting up there on the. Never mind. We got 45 minutes. What am I thinking? Checking to make sure we hadn't gotten any warnings for Kim. Yeah, we got time. All right. Unless throughout he's a big part. Unless you're good, that would be kind of interesting if they brought Sting back. I don't know. He's got to be looking rough by now. I mean, even if he took good care of himself, he's got to be looking pretty rough. Because he's late 60s, early 70s now. I don't care how good a shape you take care of yourself, you're not going to look like a fit role for that at that age, I don't think. But I would love to see him in another role, like as a um, guest feature kind of thing. Be kind of cool to see Patrick Stewart back in it. Yeah, now he's looked rough too, but he could make it. He might not be like a, oh God, what was his name? I can't remember his name. Wasn't Gunny. What was it? I can't remember. Anyways, he would maybe not be able to reprise that role, but he could reprise something else or play something else. All right. I think our boots are done there. Maybe a wee little bit right here on the toes. Let's go for that real quick. Gurney. That's why. Yeah. Here that toe. Okay. Boots are good. Now let's do that fleshy. The fleshy stuff. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I think that would be real cool if they could pull them back in there somewhere. I mean, I'd love to see Sting pulled back in too, but like I said, I just don't think he would be a good, good in Fate, just because of what the role required, the physicality. Okay, now I'm just coming in here with a little bit of is it barb flesh? I think I did barb flesh instead of tanned. He'll be a little bit paler, I guess. British, right? So he's got to be pale. um, and when you see his bases, you'll understand this dude is definitely you know, definitely like British royalty out here playing Safari. You'll understand when you see his base. Even if that's not the head canon, that's the head canon I've got for him. I just want to know, am I going to get goosebumps at that the worm scene, where it comes up, just like it did the first one. I literally got goosebumps. Kind of like the first time I saw Jurassic Park, when they're in the Jeep and they're they pull the glasses down, they've just got that look of shock in their face. Best acted scene in any movie I think ever was that one particular scene. I don't know. Sam Neill and the other actors did an amazing job there because you literally believe they were seeing dinosaurs for the first time ever. But anyways, that scene and the worm scene, both gave me just absolute goosebumps in the theater. So I'm hoping we can get that same kind of feeling with this one. Okay. We'll have to do the eyes here in a second. That's always fun for everybody, right? Everybody loves painting eyeballs, don't they? Come on, raise your hands if you like painting eyes that are microscopic. What? I don't see any hands raised. Come on. Nobody loves microscopic eyeballs. I'm shocked, I tell you. I guess that is a bit of hair, isn't it? That or molding, I can't really tell. We're just going to cast it black. That's what we're going to do. Because it doesn't really stick out on the other side. we're just going to kind of block it into shadow, I think. Yeah, there we go. That works. That makes me semi-happy there. Okay. Now, for the eyeballs. This is why I don't do washes on faces. Because I typically have to reshape everything afterwards. Come in with a little ivory. You just kind of splodge it there in the eye socket, right? Best I can. May have to I get a little bit of moisture there on the brush. It was a bit dry. So right now he's looking pretty clownish, right? It's going to get more so here in a second. Okay. Okay. Now, if our paint is dry, should be able to just come in here and draw a line down through the eyes. Got a double line there because the brush split. Of course it did. Will we reach full clownish potential? This is probably about as clowny as it gets, and it looks really horrible right now. I promise this is like super hot garbage. You'll see, but it will get fixed up. At least to a presentable state. Okay, so we've got these big blobs of white, and we got a brown line drawn straight through it, right? Now we take our brown and we start cutting back on the white, bringing it up, shaping it to the eyeball, right? The visible portion of the eye. And this makes him look a little bit like a big old raccoon. And then once you get done with that, we'll take the flesh and start cutting the flesh back in around that brown till we reach a stage where it looks like that brown is either gone or just more like eyeshadow or something, or not eyeshadow, but lash line. Sorry, that's the word I meant. And that's how I do these tiny little eyes. As somebody who can't see. Gives you a little more to work with. So yeah, he looks like a super raccoon right now, if you can see that. But the eyes themselves actually look about right. I mean, not, considering the sculpt and stuff like that and the size, they're not bad. I'm going to come back in with a bit of tanned flesh. This has a little bit better opacity than barbarian flesh, so we'll put a little bit of that down to help shape up that liner. And of course, we've got a clog because, clogs are a necessary part of my stream, apparently. um, yeah. So first up, I want to bring that nose back in because he needs a nose. And you may have to still make a couple passes. It may not get it on that first pass because, brown's pretty dark. It's hard to cover up. Got a really good opacity, right? This is where that steady hand comes in really good. You don't have to be as steady on the eye itself, but being, when you're painting it back in, when you're shaping it up afterwards, it does help have that steady hand practice in, so your brush isn't going to get out of control. So can you tell he does have eyeballs now? They're shaping up a little bit. We're not quite done, but they look a lot better than the clown stuff, right? The hardest part is getting the bridge of the nose cut in, because that puts you so close to the eye. You have to have your paint kind of thin anyways, but if it's too thin, then when you touch that, this bridge of your nose right here, if you get in that area and your paint's thin, it immediately goes and floods this portion of the eyeball out. So you have to be really careful not to let the paint get too thin, not to let it get out of control. Okay, eyes are cut in now. Grab a quick sip. We have the 30-minute warning. We are going to finish this sucker in 30 minutes. We are. Hopefully. All right. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a little bit of just a wee little bit of Rhinox hide into that tan flesh. I'm going to get a color about like that. I'm going to paint up underneath his cheekbones with it a little bit. And inside his ears. All right. And most of this is going to be taken care of by his beard because, he's got that, it's not a mutton chop. It's like, handlebar. What is it called when it comes down like this, and then flows up into the mustache? I cannot think of what that's called. Let me make sure his chin's not covered either. I am not a facial hair scientist. Okay, so I was wrong. He's not shown with any facial hair on the side, just chin and the mustache. But I swear that mustache looks like it connects to facial hair up here. It looks like it's coming from here up to his mustache. And I'm going to paint it that way because I break rules. Not important rules, mind you, but painting rules. Oh yeah, I'll break the hell out of those. So no one's going to say anything about the rule breaking thing. Gosh, guys, you are too easy. I'm gonna bring that Rhinox slash tan flash down up underneath the chin a little bit. Get it in those in between those tendons on the neck. Now we'll kind of come in with a bit of barb flesh, and we're going to work on some of the highlights there. And then we'll have a little bit of basic skin tone as well. Now the barb flesh is Army Painter. The basic skin flesh or basic skin tone is Vallejo model color. The tan flesh is also Army Painter. So just in case you want to follow along or do some of your own flesh work, those are the colors I typically use when I'm going for fleshy tones. Now, if I'm wanting to get like a super duper fancy flesh tone, you don't even start with those colors. You use like greens and browns and violets and burgundies and stuff like that to get those undertones that natural skin has. I did miss a little bit over here on this eye. But that's kind of hard to do with this scale, honestly. So when you're talking about like miniatures, your basic skin tones are going to work just fine, honestly. But if you like ever get into painting a bust or something, that's when you want to start looking at taking your flesh tones up to another level, using undertones and such with them. Then that's going to give you a much more realistic skin tone than slapping a little tan flesh and barbarian flesh on there. This is just going to cut in the tops of the cheeks here. Everybody's gotten kind of quiet. Are you guys off working on your own projects? Practicing the clown eye trick? This is a little bit of that basic skin tone now. Basic skin tone, white centric paint. Yes. Well, you know, I'm just painting them like the box. Thank you. Appreciate that, Eleanor. Chatting with the client while he's very, very cool. So, what were you sculpting? I don't know if you said it and I missed it, or if you didn't say it, or is it under wraps because it's a commission? Oh, just referring to the paint name. Okay, gotcha. A trophy topper for a local tournament. Very cool. I like that. All right. That is honestly something I really need to work on is my ethnic skin tones. I've had a little bit of practice, but I don't get a lot because, well, you don't see it in many of the miniatures, at least, like characters, named characters. But I did some with Neil Henry, which was probably my best African American skin. Well, Asura wasn't bad. I think she was the second one I did, and Mr. Nagatoro. I tried to make it look like an Islander flesh, so he's a little bit got kind of that ruddy tan skin. So I'm not sure if I pulled him off well or not, but he definitely doesn't look Caucasian, right? Which was the full intent of that. But I was trying to make him look more like an Islander. So yeah. Oh, you think he turned out good? Thank you, appreciate that. So yeah, that's something I'm really trying to work on is getting those differing skin tones down. So then we're going to come in here with a little bit of this. This is neutral gray. I'm seeing it now. I don't think I am going to paint the handlebars on there. I'm just going to paint what's above his lip, and we're going to call that good. I think it's like when an older person does that kind of stern smile and they get this little poke out right here, like kind of like their jowls, but it's the upper jowls. I think that's what this is. I don't know the word for it, so it's upper jowls. Rather than, I thought at first it was like, facial hair sculpted that way, but I don't think it is. Okay. So I'm going to come in and hit that little area just a wee bit. Some tan flash. And then a little bit of barb flash. Not as easy here. There's a big old mold line right there. Or like a mold recess, not even a mold line. Go. Now we'll get some a little bit of, I guess I'm going to go ahead and go white. We don't have a whole lot of room to do details on this. We'll just going to hit it with like pure white on this moustache. And there we go. I'm just going to drop just a wee bit right here. And a wee lighter tone on the inner lip of this one here. Like that. Could potentially go just a little bit lighter. I think that will give that impression of a little bit more depth. Really nice balance of colors on the sky. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Eleanor. Okay, so now I need to come in here and do a little bit of edging around his collar. And I think that's going to do it for him. I actually had kind of thought I might have his guy done quicker. But I got off on some tangents today. Talking about video games and stopping smoking and stuff like that. So didn't buckle down on the painting quite as much this time. But I do have the other one, the chubby version, sitting off to the side where I can start working on him for the few remaining minutes. Okay. I think I want to say he's done enough. So that is our hopeful prospect. Got his gun done up nice. Stock done up well. See here, I got his little belt buckle up here edged in right. Yep. Looks like it. I might just add just a wee bit of more edging to some of this leather here. Just a tiny little bit. I'm kind of surprised we didn't have any visits from my cat, because earlier today, when we were doing setup, he came in here with all sorts of vocal. So I figured we were going to have a cat time today on stream, but he pretty much vamoosed when I got started. He wanted to be held. Yes, he did. He had to have a little bit of attention before starting. So yeah. Oh yes, you're going to be interested in seeing that one, I think. So yeah, appreciate that, Doug. Thank you, Fear. Appreciate that. All right. So next we are starting on Chunky Boy. And I can say that because I am a chunky boy, so I can say that. I'm allowed to. We're going to start on him. Now he is going to be done in the typical. Yeah, basing really does sell them all, and I'll be honest, basing is not one of my strong suits. I am not the best at basing, but now that I've got the 3D printing thing going on, I'm getting better, because if it's something I can envision, I can sculpt it and print it, or find other sculpts and print it, and that works well. So this guy is going to be done in khaki. So your typical Savannah outfit, Serengeti, whatever. This is going to be your typical khaki little uniform that we're going to be doing him in. Yeah. Now, I probably will never put as much effort into it as some do, just because I fear that it takes over the miniature at some point. So I'll probably always be a little bit conservative with basing. But you also got to think too. I came from a Warhammer background, and basing in Warhammer was some sand and some PVA and some clumps, and you're good to go. So I've gotten a lot better about that now. I still will do that occasionally. Like some just call for it, like Perdita's crew, family crew. I figure desert themed bases. That's what she's going to be on. Now I could have done like wooden saloon floors and stuff like that, but I have a lot of miniatures that are already on wooden floors, interior floors. So I didn't want to repeat that process. So I put them in desert themes, and now I've got these cacti and stuff to print for them. Really ties it together. You think of basing as a mini diorama? Yeah. He does have a pith helmet, or is it pith or plinth? I can't remember. Yeah, but he's got that kind of helmet. They both do, actually. First basing were old wooden planks made from crafts. Yeah, that's absolutely 100% a valid method. I still do that. Like, well, it's not planking, but little mess right here. So that's popsicle sticks and wooden skewers. She's really dusty. That I didn't paint them; I just stained them. So that's just so it let the natural wood kind of come through. Pith helmet, yeah, made from the pith of citrus peels. Really, I had no idea about that. But yeah, craft sticks or popsicle sticks can come in super handy. Now we probably I don't know if we'll work on this one on our next stream, since we've already done one of these already. I just wanted to start on him, so because I finished the other one up. We may or we may pop to another model. Are there any preferences? Like I said, I've got about 65%, 70% of the weird miniature line. So let me know what you want to see painted. Yes. Tuesday, I will be back with you guys. Is it that? Are we at that point? Yeah, we're about 6 minutes away. We're getting there. Those are Ricky numbers. Got to pump those numbers up. Yeah, I ran out of 30-gallon totes, guys. I think I'm good for a little bit. I do not have Dead Justice, but that is only because I did not catch it because I wasn't into the game at that point. I only got into Malifaux basically 2 years ago. So I think ooh. Did I miss? I missed a little bit of sprue, didn't I? How about that? Whoops. Sometimes this will happen, folks. Got to give them miniatures a good once over, and then once over again. I am not going to bother repriming that, I don't think. It's on the underside. Not in an area that's going to have a lot of wear. I think we'll just let it go. Of course, the plastic did stick in the wet paint, though, naturally, because my luck. All right. We are pulling up on the end of our stream today. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with me and all that good stuff. Had fun painting some explorers, and we'll be doing some more probably next time. Unless you guys, like I said, have a suggestion for a miniature you'd like to see painted. I have a pretty good selection, so feel free to shoot your options out there. It does always fly on streams, right? So yeah. I am about out of my paint here. Time to get ready to roll to the game store for Malifaux night. Fantastic. Good luck with your playing. I'm going to hopefully get some playtime in this weekend myself. I'm possibly going to go down and hang out with a friend and get some Malifaux in. Maybe some pizza. I like pizza. I can manage to do it without passing out, that'd be great. Did I quote? I didn't stuff it in my wallet, but yes, I was doing Steve 3. I like pizza. The best part was him stuffing it in the wallet, though. that I couldn't convey. Or Doug, that's right. Why did I say Steve? I don't know. But yes, you knew who I meant, obviously. Because he calls him Steve. Okay, well that could be why then that stuck in my head. But yeah, it was. I think it was the third copy that was special. I guess. Oh. Oh. Okay. It has been a while, but that the pizza part stuck with me. Okay. Number 3 calls the original guy Steve. Okay. All right. I've not seen our very last warning, so I'm gonna just keep going until I finish this arm here. It was hilarious on a personal level as a guy named Doug, whose brother's name is Steve. Oh, wow. That's freaking hilarious. That is hilarious. There we go. Okay, so we are at the end. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging with me. That's the link right there in the chat right now at this moment. That Willow link will lead you to all my social medias. If you want to keep up with my recent works and what's going on with my time in Malifaux, just take a look at that Willow link and follow the social media there. Again, thanks for hanging out, and yeah, we'll see you. Is it yes, the 7th, which I think is it's Tuesday, right? Yes, Tuesday the 7th at 3:30. Until then, everybody, stay weird. Thanks for coming out.